Yeah, I can header the ball. That's pretty easy. You just have to hit the ball with your head. I don't think there's anyone in Australia that are actually as good as me. I'm probably the best player in Australia. Tackling's one of the hardest skills. In terms of myself, though, I'm fucked. I'm really good at it. Some have said even potentially the best in the world, but I wouldn't go that far. That's just what other people say. I don't say that. Communication skills, they're really good because I know for a fact the Australian soccer team speaks English. That's their primary language, and I also speak English. I'm probably the best long grass player in the world, aside from no one. I'm very aware tactically. Like if I see a player in the wrong spot, I'm not afraid to let them know, hey dickhead, you're actually in the wrong spot. I will actually say that. I will be honest, if the coach of the Australian soccer team continues to overlook me, I will have to take my skills elsewhere. I'm actually a very, very talented guy. I can't just play soccer. I can play basketball as well. Endurance, really good endurance. I did a 4K run the other day, and I only stopped halfway to take a shit. So if I didn't have to take a shit, I probably would have kept going for the full 4Ks. Yeah, a lot of people in Australia do think that soccer's really boring. Like, for example, my housemate will be watching the soccer and he'll go, oh, this shit's really boring. I understand lots of different cultures. It's another good asset I would bring to the World Cup. For example, I understand in Italian culture that they're not going to the World Cup. I have noticed the 26-man squad is actually very sexist. There's 26 men. They didn't pick any girls. I've actually been feeling a little Italian myself lately. Just purely because I'm not going to the World Cup. Outside of soccer, my interests sort of lie in maintaining the garden. As you can see, we have a lot of lovely plants here. This right here, this is called the grass. I was feeling pretty down about not getting picked for the squad, but then I remembered I have a whole nation to sympathise with. The Italians, they're also not going to the World Cup. We do like to grow berries in this garden. As you can see here, we got some berries, some orange berries. I'm not going to eat them. The other day, I was just making a pizza, and it just reminded me, hey, Italy's not going to the World Cup. I'd be willing to take any role just to get me to the World Cup. You know, it could be in forward, it could be in defence. I'd even be willing to be the water bottle guy. You know, I have been practicing in my off days just preparing water bottles for people. I've actually got a really quick water bottle from ground to water bottle grab reach ratio. I'd even drive the team's bus. Like, look at this. Look at this. I'm actually a pretty good bus driver. No, I don't have a problem with Italy. They're really good guys. It's just, unfortunately, they're just not going to the World Cup. This is how I drive buses. I drive buses nowadays. So, other than Australia, if I was going to support a team, well, it wouldn't be Italy because they're not going to be there. Look at this shit. Look at how I'm turning this bloody wheel. That's a one-hand turn right there. Not a lot of people can do that. If you're a betting person, I would say, looking at the player of the tournament markets, don't choose an Italian. Look, I'll go the other way now. I'm going left. That's actually right, but I'm using my left hand, so you can see why I got confused. Right now, there's actually a helicopter with the Italian team on it going over my head. It's making quite a loud noise. I'm not too sure where they're going, but it's definitely not the World Cup. If Qatar's not on Melways, well then we're starting to get into murky waters. Because I don't know how I'll get around, but I would actually have a way around that, and it would be to hire a local Qatar person. But fuck! No! Rightio, so what you just saw there was how I would deal with a terrorist attack if I was driving the bus and a terrorist, God so forbid, would attack me. As you can see, the passengers of the bus are still on the bus and they're unharmed. So I don't think there's an issue with how I handled that. The terrorist isn't here anymore. He's gone. So I think everything's okay, and that's why I should be driving the Australia bus. I did actually once, when I was playing in juniors, actually send a kid to hospital. The ball was coming, the ball was flying up through the air, and I'm sort of watching it, and this kid and this other kid, they both go for the header, and I'm sort of just in the back, I'm just watching, and then these two kids, they bash their heads together, and basically one gets knocked out, the other one's head starts bleeding, and I used my initiative and sort of said, hey, send these blokes to hospital. So I did send them to hospital. Actually, it was my idea.